I think it's safe to say that we've all been in some sort of competitive situation before, where you and another person are trying to get the same thing. Even if it's not in a sports setting, there are countless times where we compete against another person. Competition is a part of life, and I believe that competition is healthy when it's done right. But when competition turns into tension between two of your players, that can be toxic, and that's when you know that it needs to be dealt with. Today's Bullpen Bulletin is for coaches, and I'm giving you my 3-step process for handling any tension between two players on your team, so you can stop those problems in their tracks and not let them leak into the entire team. Hey team, Coach Hart here with Building Better Baseball, the best place for baseball education. If you're just finding this channel and we've never met, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the team. If you're a youth baseball player or a coach and you'd like to level up your game, then look no further. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because I'm here every week with a brand new video to help you improve your game. I'm also giving away 2 free guides at the end of this video as my gift to you for stopping by. So be sure to stick around. Now, let's make sure that we get rid of all the tension on our team with these 3 simple steps. Step number 1 is to understand the full situation. As I'm sure you know, there's always 2 sides to every situation. Each player has their own view of the situation, and that view almost always paints them as the victim and the other player as the problem. I see it all the time in my PE classes where no matter what happens, every student always paints themselves as the victim. Now granted, sometimes it's very true that there's one clear antagonist and one clear victim, but not always. That's why it's so important to first gather all the information you can about the situation from both players. Pull each player aside and talk to them individually to hear their side of what's going on and why there's tension. You want to do this without the other player present because the other player is almost guaranteed to disagree with what's being said, and they're going to interrupt with their own side of the story. Even though this situation is a problem between 2 of your players, this is your make or break moment as a coach. The way you handle this situation will set the tone for how you will be viewed by these 2 players and really the whole team. You want to make it very clear that you have your players back, you care about them, and your only goal is to make everyone better. That's why understanding the entire situation first is so important. You want to make sure that both players feel heard and understood before any further action is taken. Step number 2 is they talk and you listen. After you've heard both sides of the story and you know what's going on, you probably have all the information you need to solve the problem. But being a great coach also means that you're a great teacher. And even though you know what needs to be done to solve this problem, you don't want to just tell the players what's going to happen and then that's it. That's not teaching, that's telling. The players aren't going to learn anything from that and nothing really gets solved. This is when you have a teaching moment with these 2 players. This is a prime opportunity to teach them a life lesson in how to handle issues they have with other people. When they grow up and they're adults, they're not going to have parents and coaches around to tell them what to do. They're going to have to handle these situations by themselves. The next step is having these 2 players talk it out with each other and solve the tension for themselves. No yelling, no name calling, no aggression, none of that. Just the 2 of them having a very serious conversation about what's going on. So if they're talking it out, what do? Your job is to watch and listen. Be there for them to make sure that the conversation goes smoothly. Of course, they can look to you for advice and you can offer your insight to steer them in the right direction, but ultimately, this conversation is between the players. When the conversation has ended and an agreement has been made, you let them go by saying something like, okay, are we good? Are we ready to be teammates again? Let's go have some fun playing some baseball. These conversations are always pretty intense for the kids, so I always like to end it with saying something positive like, let's go have some fun. Hopefully, if everything goes the way it should, this should be the end of the tension. Step number 3, if you need it, is disciplinary action. Even though we like to think that it'll be solved, there's always a chance that the tension will continue and the conversation between the 2 players wasn't enough. Unfortunately, this is the time for you to get more serious with them and explain that the tension between them is affecting the entire team, and there's absolutely no place for it on your team. They're either going to figure it out or they won't be on the field. As I said before, tension between 2 players is toxic for your team, and you don't want those toxins spreading to the other players. These players have to learn how to be part of a team and how to have a team mindset and not a me mindset. They have to learn that their selfishness impacts more than just them. That's what being part of a team is. It's a tough task to make sure that they feel validated in how they're feeling, while also telling them that they're affecting the team. Although it's never easy, following these steps to handle tension between two players will help you not only solve the issues, it'll also take your make or break moment and show your team that you're there for them and you all are family. I'd like to hear your thoughts about this video. Have you ever had problems between two teammates that was hard to handle? I'd love to hear your stories, and I'll be sure to reply back with my thoughts. Before you go, I want to make sure that you get your free guide. If you look down in the description area, you'll find a free baseball equipment sizing guide. This guide is great for any players or parents who want to know how to find the right size bat, glove, or anything else. It covers every piece of equipment that we use in baseball, so be sure to grab yours down below. There's also a free 2-hour practice plan I made just for you. It's complete with 2 practice blueprints and it has everything you need to have more efficient practices. Be sure to grab your free guide down below. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope this video gave you a clear step-by-step process that you can use the next time that you have any tension between your players. I'll see you next week for another edition of the Bullpen Bulletin.